Hey guys, back again. I'm going to talk about Toy Story 5 today. So, I have grown up with this franchise and I was born in 93. So, right whenever the first movie came out a couple years after I was born, I have had Toy Story in my images throughout my whole life. Like I've grown up with this series. I love these films and um I think all of them are amazing, and I think that it's cool seeing another one because people are kind of asking, do you need another one? But to me, watching this movie, I thought this was very emotional and very funny, and it really felt like to me, as a lifetime fan of these movies, that this felt like it was warranted to exist. I'm not really going to give really spoilers to this, except for like the initial stuff from the trailers, but this is a Jesse story, which I think is something that was needed, or maybe not needed, but something that could be needed in the franchise. And watching it, I felt like it was needed. I think that it's great seeing this character who you've really enjoyed throughout all of these films after the first one, and the fact that it's Jesse versus Lilypad, toys versus tech. Um, Jesse is literally against a tablet that is what all the toys are saying in the movie, the downfall of toys. Like, toys are going to go extinct. We're not going to have anybody to play with anymore. Um, and I really loved how this movie did a great job with being very good on the argument of tech can be good and bad. It's not just a good thing, and it's not just a bad thing either. All the characters and all sides of these characters in this movie kind of think of tech a different way, of technology a different way, and I really like that. I think that's cool because it isn't just like one-sided black and white idea of, oh, you can't have kids play with these, but you also have other kids who are playing it too. But how long do you keep with these kids to do all this stuff on your tablet? And people brought up the fact in the movie, like the characters brought up the fact too, that tech can outlast stuff or be quicker than anything, like tech that might have lasted a few months kind of deal, or tech that has lasted forever. Which also relates to toys, that they can last forever, they can last a little bit. um, I thought that was great. I love the fact that this is a Jesse story because I do like just the performances of Joan Cusack in this movie, the voice performance. um, she's a character that I've always loved in these movies, and I love that we're finally getting a full, this is her story, and it has a lot of side characters and they utilize them very well, but it is Jesse's story, and I really like that. I like that it's two different stories though, where Jesse is the main one, but then you've got all of these buzzes that are washed onto shore. And the fact that I heard before this came out that the writers or director, whoever, said that they wanted to make it like a show like Fargo, where like you've got two different inciting stories, or two different stories that interconnect later into the movie. But I like that they start out where they're not connected, and the scenes with the buzzes are really funny. And the fact that we've got Buzz that has been malfunctioned three times in this franchise, in the second one, the third one, and this one. Well, I guess the first one too. Buzz is a diluted toy. But the fact that there's been three or four times that Buzz Lightyear is a toy that doesn't know it's a toy, I think is really funny still. And they really found great jokes with this. There were some really knockout moments with these buzzes. Just seeing them, like, they were like little short stories of seeing them going along and just going through all these instances where they were just really doing a lot of crazy stuff, but they don't know that they're toys, and then they realize they're toys, and then it's like Buzz before in the other movies, but they do it a really creative and cool way, and I just thought that was fun. Um, this movie is genuinely funny, and I love the fact that the humor in this really lands, whether you're a kid or not. Because, like I said, I've watched this for 30 plus years, and I still think that this is a great one. This is a great movie, especially really fun. The only thing I could say in terms of like side characters, they utilize Woody well, but the fact that he's in it, like, and Andrew Stanton said that before the movie came out that they didn't have him in the original script, I could see why he was not in it, because the story did end with Toy Story 4. And Toy Story 4 I thought was great too. That was a great ending. But this one just elaborates more on him, but you could have him taken out of the movie. And I mean, having Tom Hanks back as Woody, it's like it would be sad if he wasn't in it, but I could see why he wouldn't be in it, his character, because of what happened at the end of 4, and it was done. But I like that this was like a little side story for him, that he just came in and helped out when he did, and they utilized him and all these side characters very well. And that's what the Toy Story movies do really well too, is that, like I said, it is Jesse's story, but it's also got the sub story with the Buzzes, but it's also got all the toys in Bonnie's room. Um, and it's got all of these characters, but they all have funny laugh out loud moments, or really fun moments that really work. So I like how they utilize all these characters. Again, they do a great job. This movie is emotional too. This, in terms of all the Toy Story movies, they all have some kind of emotional feeling or moment in them, and I'm gonna remember this movie for the emotional moments in it. Like, it hit me really hard just watching this. Like, the idea of sentimentality, or how these toys have lived this life, and how you see how life changes for a toy. Like, it is genuinely sad, but genuinely happy, but also bittersweet. And there's some moments of bittersweetness in this that just hit me like a rock. They were really, really good. And it's just a very great, for me as a fan of this franchise, a great idea of just how they were utilized in this movie. This was just a really good movie, and I really am glad, and I keep saying really, 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 but I'm glad that this movie is just fun. I loved it. I thought it was great. And in terms of the franchise, every one of them is great. And I know people are going to be like, well, we don't need another one. But, I mean, I'd see another one, because I just genuinely love all these. They're just so fun. And if they just keep being great with the characters and fun, and even 5 movies in, they almost have the same feeling to them, but they just have enough to make it just feel unique, but also feel similar. And that's where the argument will be, where people are going to be like, well, it's too similar, it's another one, we don't need it. But I think that this was warranted for me as a fan. I really love this movie. Man, I'm so glad that I got to see this. I love seeing too that Bonnie was a character that was really utilized as a character as well, because in the other movies, the human characters are not as much important, but this movie needed to have the Bonnie character be a big focal point, and the idea of being a little kid in this world full of technology and changing stuff, and changing too quickly as a kid. I think that was very well utilized as well. Just everything about it just was really awesome. I am so glad that we got another one. I loved it. Like I said, I've loved all 5 movies. The Lightyear movie was whatever, but I mean, that one I kind of forget kind of exists. I didn't dislike it, but just thought it was whatever. But as the 5 Toy Story movies that are called Toy Story, like, this one is just another worthy addition. I loved it. Yeah, all I gotta say. Thanks, guys. See you later.